Hey man, with very few exceptions, there isn't any reason that you cannot be rocking a six pack your whole life. Now, like, man, whoa, wait, what? And again, there's just a few exceptions, but overall, most of you, I'm, unless you have some rare exception, I'm just gonna talk straight and say you can be ripped and fit and healthy at every stage of life. Now, you might be like, oh, come on, it's so vain. You know, having six packs is just vanity. Yeah, it could be that way. Some people treat it that way. But it's also a mark. It's a marker. It's an indicator. It's a symptom of being ripped. And so the goal is not the six pack necessarily. It's been fantastic health, right? Now, you've heard me say, and you've heard other people talk about, like, the fact that you can be fit without being healthy, right? You're working out, you're exercising, all this stuff, but you're eating garbage, right? So you can be unhealthy. But it's impossible to be healthy without also being fit. And we've just gotten into some bad habits socially. Maybe you grew up that way. I know I did. Grew up on junk food and no exercise and kind of have a family culture of just like survival, like whatever's in front of your face, especially if it's cheap, right? Cheap food, just fill it up and eat as much as you can and just devour it. And just, I mean, not even chew, right? Just filling your mouth with whatever's in front of you. And you eat whatever you happen to eat depends on where you are and how hungry you are, right? That we eat for expediency. But then you get to a point, and this is where I want you to go, and I want you to get this established really clear standard for yourself of like, no, wait a minute. Expediency doesn't determine what goes in my mouth, right? Meaning, well, I'm hungry, so I ate that junk. You're like, no. Like my principles, my rules, my standards determine what goes in my mouth. And when you make that just a subtle shift of like, no, like, and it all comes down to just like loving on your body. When you absolutely love and appreciate and respect your body, you realize that food is both fuel and medicine. So I eat to fuel this vehicle, right? Your body is the physical vessel of your mind and your spirit, right? Think about that. And everything you experience in life really comes down to and through the filter of your body. So I can feel this amazing wind, this breeze blowing right now. It's awesome. Hopefully you guys can still hear me through the breeze. But it all comes down to that. Everything you're experiencing comes down to the quality and condition of your body, especially with energy levels and responsiveness. And you know how it feels. You know how it feels mentally and emotionally, physically and spiritually, all of them, when you're in good health. It feels fantastic. And you know how it feels when you're not, when you're out of shape and you feel lazy and low energy and you're just dragging yourself through life. You're just like, ugh. That's terrible. And then you feel terrible, right? And you're honestly, you get disappointed in yourself. You ever felt that before? I know I have. And you might blame things, well, it's this or it's that, or you might blame other people or other circumstances, but really, it's just that you're disappointed in yourself. And so, I want to invite you, challenge you even, to be fit and healthy and even like ripped, like shredded, defined, have the six pack at every age and stage of your life. Right? Oh man, one of my coaching clients, his whole thing is like ripped at 50, right? And why not? And then why not be ripped at 60 and ripped at 70 and ripped at 80? I mean, no joke. We were out backpacking a few years ago, and I was way back in the backcountry in Yosemite, and this couple comes hiking along, and they were a lot older. I was like, this is amazing. Like, we're way back in here. I started talking to him. He's 88 years old. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be backpacking way back here when I'm 88. This is incredible, right? And there isn't any reason. There are very, very few reasons that we can't do that. We can't stay ripped and fit. So here's my challenge. I got up this morning, hitting it hard, right, with my kids, because we've created a culture of exercise in our family. And as a leader in your family and in the world, you need to be setting that example and setting that tone, setting the standard, the family legacy of that and that culture of exercise. So I got up, I was working out hard, and you turn on some good music. I listen to some great audiobooks, and we were boxing and kickboxing, right, on our bag out here. And we were lifting weights, and then we're doing the ab workouts. We're just going through all these different things. And you can do a full body workout if you want every time, or you can isolate muscle groups if you try to work on certain goals, trying to bulk up. My 17-year-old son's, he wants to put a lot more muscle and mass up on his shoulders and chest and arms, so he's focusing in on that. But he is super ripped. Both my sons, 16, 17, just ripped abs. And then my daughters come out, and then my little girls come out, and my 7-year-old got all stoked and went inside, came out with boxing gloves on, and she was going after it on the bag, and we did that for a while, and then hit the weights. I have a stationary bike I run on, right? And ideally you'll want to be doing some kind of cardiovascular, like biking or running or swimming, hiking, something like that, probably 3 to 4 times a week, and maybe 30 to 60 minutes. But again, you guys, please, if that seems like too much, if you're busy and you're like, I can't fit that in, start with 5 minutes. No joke, 5 minutes. Just go 5 minutes, but go hard enough to where your breathing rate goes way up and your heart rate goes up. Just move vigorously. One of the best things out there now that I just absolutely love is they're called HIIT workouts, high intensity interval training, where you just go, whatever you're doing, you just go, and then take a rest. But you don't rest so long that your heart rate really drops back significantly. You just take a rest and then back into the exercise, and then take a rest and back into the exercise. And no matter what condition you're in, you can start there. And you can start with 5 minutes. I don't care how busy you are, you can do 5 minutes. In fact, you have to. And if you're like, yeah, but it's the kids and this, like, work out with your kids like I did today. And then after I'd done my whole workout, I was like, let's go for a run. And so we have a young dog, and kind of a puppy. I'm like, let's take him, on a gentle run. And the girls were like, I'm in. So my 3 daughters went running with me, and it was a blast. And then they would run as far as fast as they could, which they actually did really well. And then when they needed to stop, I was doing air squats and lunges and training the dog, right? And it was an awesome experience. So create that into your culture, into your family, into your life. Like, make that a part of your way of being, that you're eating only good foods. And again, that's going to be predominantly vegetables. And it has to, you guys, it has to be delicious and nutritious. That's the rule. If it tastes disgusting, that's lame and miserable. Delicious and nutritious. I'd set that standard. So do a little homework. Spend 30 or 60 minutes today looking for recipes that are just really good, really good and really healthy. Put them into a file or a folder. Just create a Google Doc or a note on your phone that has all those great recipes, and then order your groceries and have them delivered, and ask, teach your kids to cook, or hire somebody to come cook and help out, right? You just got to be more strategic and deliberate about setting up your life so that you can be healthy and fit your whole life. So, with love and with some frankness, I want to challenge you to get into and stay into the best health of your life. And for those of you who are ready for it, get that 6-pack and keep it. And whenever people are like, they're wanting to make massive changes to their life, it almost always starts with the body, right? And it's like this baseline, because again, it is the physical vessel and vehicle for your mind and your spirit, right? Which, you guys know this, in what I call the Triple Trifecta, the first trifecta is body, mind, and spirit, and they are all interconnected. But if the body's off, it's affecting the mind and the spirit. So the very first place is get your body in a great condition so you have all the energy and vitality and clarity and alertness for whatever you want to show up in all your most important roles. Your spouse and your children and your friends and the community, the world, they deserve so much more than just leftovers. And the marketplace, you got to be able to show up and give it your best, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, and physically, of course, right? So, will you please make this a priority? And it's going to be challenging. It has to be. Like, anybody's can tell you it's super easy. It's like, no, it's not. You got to earn it, right? And there's going to be lots of days. I still have those days. I don't feel like working out, but guess what I do? I work out. Every day, I don't feel like taking a cold shower, but guess what I do? I take a cold shower because it's good for you and it makes you feel alive. And with many things like exercising and cold showers, the benefit comes afterwards. It's how you feel afterwards, not in the moment. So look past that. Like train your brain to look past like how it feels at the moment. You're like, oh, geez, I'm sweating, I'm breathing hard, this feels terrible. Oh, my muscles are burning, legs are burning. But it's the benefit, right? Truly successful people are interested in the results, not necessarily the methods. They're going to be strategic about it, make sure that the methods produce the results, but they have their eyes on the prize, right? And keep your eyes on the target and lean in and set that standard for yourself. Really, this ultimately all just comes down to your personal standard, because in life you will get what you tolerate. And if you tolerate yourself being unhealthy, out of shape, overweight, lazy, then you'll get it. But if you set a personal standard, and it's a healthy standard, it's not stressing you out or making your life harder or worse. It actually makes your life way, way better. But set the standard. And I've set that standard. I set that standard when I was 16. And I've not gone away from it. That I'm going to be healthy and fit my whole life. And I have these standards, these measurements that I use. I'm like, yeah, that's what I do. And I follow the method to get the results. And it makes life so much better. And it starts when you start with your body and get your body in phenomenal condition, it starts to spill over to every other part of your life, starting with your mind and your spirit, and then your family and your finances, and it trickles down and you get this huge benefit. So start with your body and get it into phenomenal health and keep it there. Reach upward.